party people! Welcome to the channel. This is the self-proclaimed Blue Dragon. This week, in the background, I am working on a page from Opposition. This is a redraw of older pages from my free Not Safe for Work webcomic, Dark Horse. And that's actually going to begin posting that chapter, Opposition. It's posting today, October 6th. It will be posting probably the same time that this video comes out. So if you're interested in that, it's going to be on Webtoons. All of these pages have also already been shared with my patrons at the $1 level, if you're interested in reading the comics as they come out, or before they come out, I should say. And then I'm not going to really go into too much detail about my thought process behind the pages or the covers, but I will say that I do go into more details about the process on Patreon for the blog level tier, which is currently $3. I'm thinking about bumping it down to $2, but I don't know. I do 3 blogs, and you might not believe it, but it does take a lot of time and thought to kind of put those together. So anyway, that's the update there. This video is called Extra Extra because I just want to give y'all a little bit of a heads up. October is an extremely busy month for me right now, because at the end of the month we're going to be having the Comic Fury Zine come out. I'm posting a page a day, which, as you can tell by the video, I'm still working on pages for both the revamp of Dark Horse, as well as I'm kind of keeping a balance of keeping up with the current act on Comic Fury. That only posts 1 page per week, so you can see them trying to catch up with where I'm at on Comic Fury by redoing and editing the pages, which will be edited again. And also this month I always do the Comic Fury crossover exchange, so that's a little bit about what I'm going to be talking about today. I'm probably not going to have this be a very long video, but that's what's going on. So let's go ahead and get started. As many of you people might know, if you've been watching the channel, or if you have just joined in, I'm gonna be telling you. I started Dark Horse back in, actually creating pages for it back in 2008, so it's over a decade old. God, does that make me feel old? I don't feel old, like, mentally, but maybe that's all based on my maturity level. But anyway, I digress. But I started redoing this art just because I wasn't happy with it, and I'll talk more in detail about that in other videos, but it was time to redo the art, because if you're not happy with something, yeah, you can go down the spiral of constantly fixing and changing things, which I don't plan on doing, but I think it's still important to be able to assess and redo things if you need to. I mean, even Sailor Moon, one of my favorite comics of all time, my favorite manga of all time, when they re-released it not too long ago, Takeuchi went back and redid a lot of the art because she was under a time crunch when it was originally being put out, when it was originally serialized. And so a lot of the art wasn't up to what she considers to be her standard of art. And also, you know, they're re-releasing it. They want to fix it up, polish it, make it look all nice. But I think it was kind of cool that she was able to come back years later and do that. So I mean, I don't really think it's that unreasonable, so long as you don't get caught in the trap of constantly being a perfectionist, which can work for some people. But if you are intending to just keep moving forward, I would caution against that unless it's something you really want to do, unless that's what makes you happy. I don't want to tell anyone what to do with their art. I think that all that needs to be dictated by oneself and what makes them comfortable and what brings them enjoyment. But yeah, so October is just kind of, it's already here, and I'm so excited. I mean, I'm not as big of a fan of Halloween as I think a lot of other people are, but at the same time, I've always really loved the holiday. I used to have big Halloween parties back when I lived in Illinois, because I lived out in the country, so we could have a big old bonfire and people would come dressed up. One time we had a piñata. There's plenty of land, so I encouraged anyone who was drinking to stay the fuck put. Either sleep in your car, sleep on the couch, sleep on the floor, or pop up a tent and stay the night at my place. We had plenty of land to do that. So yeah, I used to have these really big Halloween parties where a lot of my friends from college, my friends from high school, we'd all just kind of hang out, watch movies, drink, eat. I always would have like food and stuff, you know, provided because it was a good time, right? I'm just kind of reminiscing about this now because we have been in a pandemic, and it's kind of nice to think about, you know, some of the good times, some of the fun you've had in the past, and realize that we will be in a point where we can have that fun again. But Halloween was always like one of the best. I mean, it was just so much fun, right? I would oftentimes make my own costumes. I think a lot of the other people, actually, one of my good friends and roommates, she actually created her own Full Metal Alchemist outfit where she came as Edward, and she had, this was like not a cosplay thing, it was just for Halloween. But she took like this muscle arm and she spray painted it gray, and she had a red cloak and like the whole outfit, and it looked really fucking awesome. She's one of the few people that I've kept in contact with over the years. We still write and communicate with each other, so really good time. So Halloween's always been a lot of fun, and that's kind of what I wanted to talk about, even though it's not Halloween yet. I think we're all, you know, kind of excited to have kind of like a landmark in the year. It's almost the end of the year. For me and for a lot of people, the hot weather is finally starting to kind of dissipate. Thank God. We're starting to get a little bit of rain here where I'm at now, and I love that because I do love the rain. I like walking in the rain. I used to love jumping in puddles. I still do, but I don't do it so much anymore because you look like a crazy person. Although, do I really care if I look like a crazy person? Probably not. But anyway, yeah, so October, I've been doing quite a few things. Aside from posting a page a day, I decided that this might be a good month to go ahead and start posting my side project, the Whimper in the Dark, which is, I haven't really done much on it for a while. You haven't seen any videos on it for a while, but it is the gory-esque Charles Addams inspired, somewhat Lovecraftian inspired, mostly like with the monsters, not any of the extra baggage shit, you know. But yeah, it's the one with my partner and my dogs, and I decided to have that start posting on Tapas this month. So that's going to be doing one arc every week, just the entire arc, and when it catches up, it catches up. I probably won't be working on it much until I finally get done with this revamp of Dark Horse. But the other thing I'm doing, another reason why I'm kind of pulling this up and starting to post it on Tapas now, is because for the Comic Fury zine, we had enough space. We didn't have, you know, I didn't have to crowd anyone out, so I decided I was going to go ahead and participate in this zine as well, only since it's a Safe for Work zine. And I just did Dark Horse for the Not Safe for Work zine. I decided I was going to go ahead and do one of the Whimper in the Dark, just a short story with maybe four pages, maybe 5 pages, I can't remember. I need to get that shit done because the due date is coming up. I work right up to the deadline also. Hence why these videos are going to be a little sparse this month, because I just got a lot of projects going on. But yeah, so I'm going to be working on the Whimper in the Dark again. Maybe if I have a chance to, I will record some of that footage, because that is a comic that I definitely will be employing a lot more pen and ink techniques. A couple weeks ago, I finally got to pick up my Alfonso Dunn book again, pen and ink drawing, because his instructions just so... I think it's very helpful, it's very well written, it's broken down into easily digestible chunks, and I just think he's a very skilled teacher. I think he's good at what he does. So I was able to pick that book up again a couple weekends ago, just kind of taking a break, trying to improve my skill level, and dovetailing with that, I figured this is a good opportunity to start working on the Whimper in the Dark again. And then eventually, once those pages are done, I will go ahead and share them on Comic Fury and on Tapas. So that's one of the projects that's kind of extra stuff that I'm doing this month. And then the other thing that I mentioned, actually, this is all out of order. I'm talking about shit out of order, but ever since I started doing the Halloween crossover exchange on Comic Fury. I try to participate with that every year, and I like to do at least 1 or 2 pages. I'm not sure if I'm going to be dipping out of it next year or not. I think it depends on where I'm at with the revamp and whether or not I've caught up. But I always like this community project because it's really a great chance to check out other people's comics. You get assigned a comic. You know, you're encouraged to read the whole thing, which I try to do unless it's like 1,000 pages, which even then sometimes I'll try to read as much of it as possible. But yeah, I think it's a really cool way to be introduced to comics that you may have not read yet. Or if it's a comic that you've already read, which I've been assigned comics that I've read before in the past. I always like that because then it's like, hell yeah, I already know the story, so I can generate a good idea for this crossover. And for those of you who aren't really familiar with crossover exchanges, the idea is that you either create a little mini comic or an individual page, which includes a crossover between both your own comic, one of your own comics that you sign up with, and the comic that you are assigned by another participant within the exchange. And then once the holiday or event, whatever it is that the crossover's for, once that deadline and presentation date comes, then the crossover pieces that everybody worked on gets posted. They usually have it scheduled throughout the entire day of the event on into however long it takes to post everybody's comics and images that they created. So I think it's a really cool thing to do if you really like practicing both your art, trying to draw other people's styles, and also, just getting an opportunity to read and be introduced to new independent comics. It's really kind of a cool thing that I feel engenders, generally speaking, usually engenders that feeling of community and interest in one another's works. I think it's a cool thing. And the Halloween exchange always has a ton of people participating, so there's always a lot of different options, and you never know who you're gonna get. But yeah, that's what's going on this month. There's a lot of stuff going on. I would love to be able to kind of keep y'all up to date as the projects are coming to fruition, but it's really hard to kind of juggle a lot of different social media, which I'm actually going to be talking about in a Friday night video sometime this month. I don't know when I'm going to have a chance to edit that video. I've already recorded the audio, but I rambled on for an hour, and a good deal of that I'm probably going to cut out because y'all know me, right? I quite often go on to tangents that really are immaterial and I can't stay on fucking topic, okay? I need to write an outline, but outlines don't always work for me, so... But yeah, I'm going to be actually talking a bit about that in a Friday night video. And then hopefully come November, I'll be able to kind of get back on schedule or have more videos posting within that month. But I figured I'd go ahead and start the month off out like that, let y'all know what's going on. I'm not really disappearing or going anywhere. It's just kind of busy right now, so expect me to be out either next Friday or the following Friday with that Friday night video, and then I'll have the monthly Q&A as per usual at the end of the month, the last Wednesday of the month. If any of you have any questions or you're interested in these projects, I do keep Patreon as updated as possible. Patreon gets to see most of the shit that I'm working on first. That's just the $1 level, and then I have some other, if you want to hear me babbling about shit, that's the next tier up. But otherwise, I got coffee, subscribe stars, stuff like that. If you're interested in subscribing and doing things of that nature, helping to support the art. Otherwise, sub, do the bell thing. That also helps with these videos. Yeah, that's really all I have to say this week. I hope this didn't seem too boring, but I would like to know if any of you all are doing any art projects or side projects, anything special for Halloween, decorating your house, making your own costume. What are you doing? Do you celebrate it all? And if you don't, what are some things that you like to do to prepare for the fall? Anyway, peace and love, fare you well, and keep on trucking.